Hi, so I've had some luck with the Gamescope launchers on various Linux distributions, so Cachy, Omarchy, Pop, and Mint. So someone's asked me to do this, and I said I would. So I've done one for Fedora. Now, I'm using the basically Fedora Workstation. So that's GNOME, because you can obviously select KDE, but I've just gone for the bulk standard Fedora 43 GNOME version that you download, which is the Workstation version. So yeah, and it's interesting. I mean, Fedora and me haven't got a great relationship. I mean, I know it's Linux underneath, but it's just, I think it was 42. You installed it, then you did an update, and it blacked out on Nvidia. Oh, there was all sorts of stuff in it. So it's been a bit frustrating, but for me, Fedora's pretty cool. I mean, it's Red Hat, historically sort of Red Hat, isn't it? Anything, but some of the bases like Nobara, Bazzite, Bluefin, and Aurora, all these sort of spins or versions of it, I mean, they're quite good. I mean, Aurora and Bluefin are brilliant. They're sort of more like immutable ones where you didn't break that often. Bazzite, as you all probably know from gaming, is like a really solid Steam platform. But obviously, like Fedora is your general purpose workhorse one, isn't it? Fedora 43. So yeah, so you know, I haven't had a great relationship with it, but it's worth doing. So I thought, you know, I'd write a games launcher for it. And, you know, GNOME isn't the best desktop environment to directly play games through, I do believe, unless they've improved it massively. So, yeah, so what we'll do, we'll first of all go from a base Fedora 43 installation on Nvidia, and we'll install the Nvidia drivers, because, I mean, that used to be an epic. It's got simpler. I mean, if you look at Mint, and I think even Interman does it now, but just I mean, you can select the drivers. It was always the video card drivers. Fedora used to mess with my brain, but that's all works really easy now. So we'll just jump in, and I'll show you what I do with a new distro, basically, just so I can get my head around it quickly and work on it. And then we'll install the games launcher, and then we'll launch a game. So with that, let's dive in. Okay, so Fedora 43, and I'm on my normal machine, so I've got an Nvidia 5060 Ti and it's a Ryzen 9 chip. So I don't really know Fedora very well, and I mean, it's a different thing. If you bounce around operating systems, like you bounce around distros, so everything's a bit different. They have different rules. You've got things like, I don't know, what's it called, AppArmor, SE Linux, all these different things that each distro has. So I find, this sounds like a cheat, but it's like having your own Linux beard with you all the time. I find the easiest way to do this is the first time you jump on one of these is just to install Claude Code. So on here, it's like, I want to do super shifts, but I can't. It's like super shows you that. I'm not a fan of GNOME. Just put that out there. And then go to terminal, and then I'll launch Claude. So I've already installed it. And what you can do with Claude is give it access to the whole machine. And what used to be a bit of an epic before, when you jump onto Reddit and Google it and find someone who's done it, it's like, I want to update the Nvidia drivers, because you can see in here, by default, I don't see the Nvidia server app, so it's not in there, and it's probably not in, you know, I can actually test that by doing, just give another window, just do Nvidia-SMI, will bring up the tools. Now it's telling me to install them, but I don't want to do that yet, because what I want to do is I want to open up the repo. No, I want to open up the repo and upgrade my drivers. So it's like, so in Claude, you just say, I want to set this system up for gaming. Am I using the right video card drivers? Now it's got, because I've done it on the top level, it's got access to the entire thing, and it'll have a look and let it get on with it. And it'll find the cards I've got and look at the drivers. Just go through, and it should tell me that I don't have, I think it's 580 driver. I don't have the correct driver installed for this. It's got to check everything. You can see at the top there, I've got basically the 5060 Ti, and also, here we go, Current drivers is not ideal for gaming. Thank you very much. Install the proprietary drivers. There we go. And it tells me what to do. So I really want to just do the drivers. I just want the Nvidia drivers. What's the command? And it's telling me to put Steam. When it would skip all that, because obviously we do all that and we don't do the FlatHub version. I spelled Nvidia wrong. So that, I mean, it has done it up the top, that. So basically, what I need to do is telling me sudo DNF, whatever that is, and it's opening up a repository, allowing me to have a repository that I can to then install the akmod Nvidia drivers. So need that bit. Copy. I'll put that in there. That do it? Yeah. Password. Update the repositories. Yes. Now, when I was fiddling around with this like last time, and this will install the drivers, then we'll have to do a reboot, but then we'll be good to go. When I did this last time, it was so much of an epic, because there was an issue with 42, I think it was, where you could get it on in using the nouveau drivers, the old ones. Then you did the update, and then it literally blacked out, and I just gave up with it. So now this should download the proper Nvidia drivers. Yes. I'll move this over here a little bit so I'm not sat on top of it. And this may take a little bit of time. But yeah, so now we'll get CUDA, all the proper bits we need, like you would have like on Omarchy or something. That does this all by default. But yeah, I mean, it's the video card drivers, Nvidia card, yeah, have always been fun and games. They've got a lot better. Jesus, they've got better. I mean, AMD was always the one. You could just put that on, it would work. But Nvidia's always been tricky. I know they had problems with the drivers, but with this, you know, obviously, yeah, I think it was like 40, 41, 42. There's real problems. Ubuntu used to be like it. It's where you used to add some weird, you have to add some weird, what is it, PPA, some weird PPA to get the up-to-date drivers. So that's done it all. So we'll just do command line, which is going to reboot. And then when I come back, you should be able to see that I've got the Nvidia X Server app thing, whatever it's called. And then we could go on and install the program. So what I did, I sort of ported over the pop version. I was like, it's a bit of everything, isn't it? So it was a bit of pop. It's a bit of the pop version, because that's Ubuntu based. And there's bits of it, because obviously this is Fedora, so it's slightly different. So I've used bits of code from each. I got all of them together and said, let's use bits of that and bits of that. And you've got obviously a bit of AI in there. Use that bit, and it sort of came together. But this should come back up in black out, because it's going to blacklist the nouveau drivers for me. There's always this dreadful pause. Is that going to go? Video cards. It should be easy, shouldn't it? That's why Windows people have, pretty easy life, don't they? They just install stuff. No signal. That's coming back up. Here we go. So back onto the load-in, and now we're on the proper Nvidia drivers. That was nearly painless. So if we go in here, there you go. Nvidia X Server's bit. So we're in good shape. Let's double click that. 5060 Ti. I'm on 580. That's fine. So now, sorry, it's just GNOME. It's not Fedora. It's GNOME that annoys me. I'm just not used to it. You get so used to doing something so much. So what I need to do now is over in my games thing, I've got down here, I've got one of my many SuperShift app release, Fedora. There's the Fedora one. And that one, copy, I'm going to put that over into downloads. I'm going to paste that there. And I'm going to copy that again. So this is SuperShift G because of the mappings. It's SuperShift G on Fedora to launch the games thing. So this is called SuperShift G Fedora. Pop that over there. Let's move this over here so you can see it better. Put it down to about there. Actually, I should do this in a window I could probably crop in on. So maybe put that there. And I can punch in on this and you can see it properly. Okay, let's do that. So then, okay, let's run. Ask for the password. A lot of you watch this channel. I've seen me install this a billion times. Do the updates. Yes. Now, all the missing dependencies. there's a fair bit it's got to build, because it's got to do builds. So it's got to reassemble stuff. There's no flat pack involved. It's all like basically built to spec. The build bits are in here. You'll see this later with Mango HUD. And the other one, which is the other one that had to build, the Chimera backend part. So there you go, to verify the packages, get those on there. And then it's going to bootstrap Steam. So allow me to get straight into Steam. Don't have to do that thing where, you know, you in the older versions, it's still on the Cachy version. I should update that. No, I've updated the Cachy version, not the Cachy version, the Omarchy version. So put it in the right groups, bootstrap Steam client, here we go. Now this is the bit you normally don't see when you sit here launching Steam for the first time. You see this is going on in the background and you don't see it. So anyway, I need to get Steam ready. Okay. Okay. So it's going to extract it and run it. Now there's a few weird little tiny errors about bubble wrap or something. I mean, this and wine thing. You'll see there's a few tiny errors. It's not end of the world, but it works. Hang on, here we go. Sign in. And we've only got to do one thing in here, which is basically switch off, because I always forget and I end up in it when I've launched the Games app. I haven't switched off the shader cache. There we go. There we go. This BRAP thing pops up. Just ignore it. It's weird. It doesn't mean anything. It probably does, but it doesn't affect anything. It just pops up. Right, settings, downloads. Pretty sure I can turn that off. And then we want to come out and you need to exit Steam. And then it just shut down. Now I can't remember if I have to press the key here or just do it automatically. Give it a moment. Let's see if it just carries on. Does it need me to press enter? I think it needs me to press enter. Yeah, it does. If you need to press enter there, it doesn't say so. That's bad form. Right. Yes. Mod set. Missing packages. Yes. I haven't tested this on AMD yet, by the way, but I hope it works. Shader cache. But I mean, this will be in the members area for the members to play with. Any of the members who gets on this who have an AMD card, let me know. It doesn't work. I'll fix it. Mint did the same thing. Mint worked on Nvidia. I always test on Nvidia. First of all, because Nvidia is not supposed to work with Steam properly. So if it works, then you think, you've got it. But Mint had a very specific Gamescope launcher, and I had to do a very specific thing. I had to do something to get it to work on Mint. But all the other ones have worked on both without me doing any testing. The only thing I had to do massive epic was when I originally started to write these was getting it to work on laptops, because you don't want, we've got two GPUs. Laptops are funny. Using the iGPU, you can't run the games. Well, some of them are quite powerful, but obviously with like an Nvidia and an AMD chip, you can't really use, you get these Optimus offloads. You need to really do mux. It's possible, but it was getting so complicated because so many laptops got different types of setups. So in the end, it's just basically, if you've got a DGPU, it will connect to the DGPU and make sure your monitors do it. But yeah, bit tricky with some of the configurations people have got. But I mean, for desktop, it should work out of the box. But it'll work out of the box for Nvidia, for AMD, which is 90% of you. For AMD, if it doesn't work, and you remember, let me know, obviously, and I'll rewrite this to make it work. Yeah, it's got a big build to do. Here we go, building Gamescape. It's compiling it. Yeah, to compile it on Mint, and I actually had to fix a bug in the compile to flag something out. It was a detection thing that our RAV4 cards doesn't do. That it wasn't because it's an older version. The bug hadn't been fixed. The bug's fixed in the new version, but I had to build the old version for Mint. So a bit of an epic. Anyway, so here we go. It's getting there. Bit more to compile. So obviously, if your computer's got a less powerful CPU, this may take longer. Obviously, compiling is a quite CPU intensive task. I wonder if we can bring out one of these tools in here. It's got some system monitor. No? There. System monitor. I wonder if that shows what the CPU is up to. Network. Yeah, look. Some of it's tanking like it's one CPU. So it's not multi-threading it. Okay, so Proton GE. Yes. You'll pull down the latest version of Proton GE. Yeah, I mean, I like BTOPs a bit better. Sorry, and it's a bit retro, but but BTOPs is a nice way of looking at stuff. I mean, there's NTOPs as well, and there's a couple of them, but I like BTOPs best. I mean, there's a really good one on Bluefin, which is quite a cool system monitoring system. I think it's not the same as this. It's called Command Center or something. Because that's going in. Okay. Grant Capsys. Yep. Oh, no, I'm on the wrong thing. Session switching, obviously. Reboot now. So it's in. So let's reboot. So that, it says, should be it. So I should be able to come back in when it reboots. Super Shift G, jump into Gamescope. Now, I've had to write the exit slightly differently because I was having huge problems getting it back with passwordless to get it back. So you have to log back when you come. I'll show you this. When you come back, you have to log back in, but it's no. You come back to a new session anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's just one tiny extra step. So here we go. No signal. Okay, and there we go. Yeah, this BRAP thing. Ever since you installed it, it comes up. I need to get rid of it. It's weird. I don't know what it is. I'll get rid of that. Right. I don't know what it is. It all carries on working. Right. So Super Shift G. Little thing comes up for the gaming. It should launch. As usual, the first one's is like a bit scary. It takes a moment to do it. Then to wait for the fans. Hear the fans. As they ramp up, that means Steam's coming up. If it goes quiet again, I failed. Here we go, it's changing. There it is, thank you. There's the logo. And we're into Steam. So, here you go. So basically set it up as usual. Settings, going in, and obviously, as you've said in all my videos, if you're on Nvidia, it's capped at 1440p because there's artifacts above it. I don't know why. Just gives you artifacts. I may, as Gamescope goes forward, I may try and remove this, but every time I try, I just get these weird banding across the bottom of the screen and all sorts of oddities, so I just left it. Default my game to 1440. Take off HDR because my monitor isn't HDR. We go back, come out of that. Control F2. Go in here. Put Mango HUD on. Advanced. Take off disable frame limit. That's that. Let's just go Arc Register now. In here we go settings, properties, compatibility, force compatibility tool down here. Proton G34. And obviously, if you know you've got all your other little controls in here, you can even if you've used the Steam Deck, you're using that, and then we'll just click play. Nothing's downloading, is it? Accept. Now it's got to run a few little bits and bobs here. And it's really weird. The first time you ever do this, it's not going to, I don't know if it'll do it this time, but the first time I ever run Art Raiders, each time it bins out. I think it's something to do with the server connection, and then the next time we launch it, it's solid as a rock. But every time I do this in the first launch, it doesn't want to do it. And I'm saying each time you launch up Gamescope, the first one, it'll go in, comes out. So it'll do its bit now. Then it drops out. It might be maybe I need to switch to Proton hotfix or something. Maybe it's the wrong, but it works once it goes in. So now we've got Gamescope. It's up there. And just I managed to find the Tempest blueprint the other day. I'm over the moon. I'm over the moon with that. It took so long to find it. If anybody plays it. Okay, so yeah, this is what I mean. I mean, the fans are coming up. It'll do this. It gets you into the first part. It does this part, and then it normally bins out back to that launch button. I click play again. I mean, other games don't do this. It's just this. And I'm sure, I mean, I have a lot of problems getting on servers, and I think the game's very popular because I keep dropping into games at 30-minute sessions, and you keep dropping into games with 18 minutes to go. So I think the system's quite popular. So here we go. So this should load up the shaders. Accept, agree and continue. We'll see if it does it. Yeah, I mean, I kind of could have launched anything else. It would have just gone in, but I thought I'd show you this. And it's on every single version I've tried it with. It's that first launch. Here we go. Yeah, there's not much I could do about the loading. It's strange. I mean, I've never played this on desktop, so I don't like it, launching it through Steam itself. Now, so this normally works. Gets you into here, and then the moment you start to click around, it just goes, I'm not having any of it. I think it's something to do with connecting to the server. All right, so hang on, let's just have a look. I may be completely wrong. Maybe Fedora's the... No, it's still doing it. It's that. It's when it loads in. Well, it's not done it. Okay, interesting. There we go. Okay, so that's like art ready. So to come out of that, that's pretty good. I mean, settings-wise, escape. Settings, I'm running it on graphics. I've got it on unlimited frame rate, DLSS, auto quality, field of view, whatever, dynamic medium, and everything's on high. There we go. That's great. Just load it straight up. All right, brilliant. All right, exit. Do you want to exit? Yep. And then to come out of Steam, it's Super Shift R, which is the normal exit for it, and it'll shut down. Now, like all my previous versions of this script, if you've got a games drive that has a Steam library on it and it's attached to the system, the Gamescope launcher will detect it, so you don't need to do anything. So you just need to plug your drive in with your Steam library on it, and that will pick it up. Obviously, if you've got a Steam library on your machine, it'll see that anyway, but it just picks up every drive that has a Steam library on it. Now, this takes a little bit of time to come back, and it should take me back to desktop. There we go. There. So now, normally, like on Omarchy, the Omarchy version, you just come straight back to your desktop. So with this, you just have to come back, and you're back. And that's it. So there you go. So back to me. So there you go. So that's deck mode, Steam Deck mode on Fedora. Now, as I stated at the beginning of this, that's Fedora Workstation. That's not, obviously, you can tell it's GNOME. That's Fedora Workstation. And when you do the install, I didn't do it encrypted. I did allow third-party repositories, anything else. And then added my video card driver. Not tested on AMD, but I will give that a go. If one of the members would like to have a go, and if it doesn't work, I will rewrite that for them. But yeah, so this will be in the members area. And at some point in the distant future, when I get around to doing Git properly, I will release this into the wild, but not at the moment. I'm just trying to get many of these done. Few people to test them out. If they work on the hardware, that's great. I don't want hundreds of people going, it doesn't work, because it's really difficult to fault find then. So yeah, so members who do this, I really appreciate it. It's really helpful. The guy the other week with Mint, brilliant. He came in and said that doesn't work. It was just straight away I could go, okay, I can fix that. So I pulled an AMD card out, popped it in and sat there and fixed the code. So now it does work for AMD people. But yeah, brilliant. Okay, so that's Fedora Deck, if there's such a thing. Anyway, thanks for watching.